Hello, my name is Maya and I'm your host for this webinar. Mr. Prem Nawas, it's a pleasure to have you with us today on our very first webinar series. Before we go forward with this, please tell us more about your journey. We saw on your LinkedIn a rich background, starting right from a position of senior project engineer in southern city of India, Chennai, back in 1989, to now a senior project manager at JLL. We also saw that you worked as an area manager in Archon Engineering Consultants, not to forget project director role in L&T, being a project head in Lighton, and as a project manager in Ductco Balfour, as well as serving the government of Dubai. How do you see this journey was overall? It must have been a kind of a learning experience for sure.
With the grace of God, it's a great journey for me. I completed my bachelor degree in engineering in 1989. I started working with the Indian company. I started as a senior project with that company, and I worked in a few projects in India. Then 1993, I moved to Dubai. I got a job in Khan Sahib Civil Engineering. It's a large UK-based company, and I joined as a project engineer, and I promoted as a site manager within 2 years' time. I was there about 5 years. I worked in a lot of projects in the Khan Sahib Civil Engineering. I was working in Dubai Tennis Stadium. I was working in Dubai City Center, Dera City Center. I worked in the Wafi shopping mall, Wafi residential, all that I worked. And then I moved to Dubai Civil Aviation, right, Dubai Airport. I joined with them in the 1997 as a project coordinator, and then later I promoted as a project manager. I worked in all the expansion of Dubai. I saw the Dubai Airport so small, and then it expanded so big in 11. I was with them for 11 years. I was involved in various projects with Dubai Civil Aviation. And then at one point, I just moved out. I resigned and moved out, and I started working with Baichuti Interiors, and I was two 5-star hotel projects in JBL. And
so you worked through it all, the whole development of Dubai and all the skyscrapers and all the...
That's right.
How does it feel?
It feels really wonderful, and I'm feeling proud that I was a part of a small part of so much development in Dubai, and especially at the Dubai airport. Everyone knows about Dubai airport, and you know how have a big value.
Are you happy to move from India to the GCC? Do you feel there was an opportunity in this area?
Exactly, yeah. I involved in construction from the beginning, and then at one point I thought I want to improve my working experience, and I wanted to be a part of international companies. I wanted to work in large projects, and so that motivated me to move back to Dubai. Moved to Dubai, and then I really achieved whatever I wished to achieve in my life with the grace of God. I worked in major companies, UK-based companies. I worked in major, like Dubai Airport now, and it's a great...
Dubai Airport is crazy. Would you mind sharing with us a couple of interesting experiences, like the experiences you tell your friends over dinner that happened with you while you were on a project, or...
I cherish one of my projects. It was Dubai Tennis Stadium. You know, Dubai. There's a stadium in tennis stadium in Dubai, like near the aviation college, just inside the aviation club. That project belongs to Dubai Duty Free. I mean Dubai Civil Aviation, and I was working with Khan Sahib Civil Engineering. Our company took the project, and they appointed. I was junior in the company. That project was very prestigious project. It was very short period, very fast track project also. Only 5 months time we had to complete the project. They fixed the ATP tennis tournament, and they asked us to start the project And then to somehow my company trusted me and they posted me as a senior guy in that project. So I took it as a challenge, and then I worked like crazy from morning 7 to night 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock like that, because I wanted to prove that because they trusted me, so I wanted to give back. I wanted to prove that I can.
You proved yourself in that position.
Exactly.
So they gave you a big challenge and you felt like, okay, I will make it.
Yeah. So we completed the project in time. It was a very great experience, and I was involved.
How old were you at the time?
I was about 29 years.
Wow, nice. Do you want to share another experience, or that's done?
No, another experience is Dubai airport. A lot of though the airport was the airport started the expansion in the year of 1997, and then it was going on like crazy. It was expanding further. It was becoming bigger and bigger, and there were flights inside. Even the same time we were doing the construction also inside. It was totally crazy. Like we were sometimes we crossed here to cross the airfield, and then the flight suddenly comes in, and all this so much like security issues, all those things are there. But still, with the grace of God, there was no casualty except one or two accidents. There are no other casualties so far in the project. So,
how do you see the construction landscape in the Gulf changed over the years?
It's a fantastic change actually. It is excellent actually. When I landed in Dubai in 1993, Dubai was nothing. There was no new Dubai. There only after that, the Sheikh Zayed Road. After that, what is it? Holiday Inn. There was nothing. No building beyond that.
From scratch, it was from scratch. They created.
Yeah, exactly. It's like in 1993, it was like a small city. Dubai was nothing. There is no after the as I'm saying, after the Holiday Inn, there was no buildings at all. So,
do you feel so? I saw on your LinkedIn the projects you've worked on are 1.4 billion, and the numbers are huge. Yeah. So dealing with them, was it an unlimited budget given to you, like work whatever you want, or they always had a budget to work?
That project was so large; it was 18 billion. But there was one part of the project given to me to manage it. So that's how we made a parts and parts. And then each one will take a particular area of the project and manage it.
What does this change bring to you in your professional and personal life? Watching Dubai come up or other Gulf countries rise from nothing, how did it change you or change your personality?
And then it gave me great confidence. Personally, I'm working on the fast track projects, completing projects in time. It really gave me so much confidence in my life that continue in my personal life also. So I'm feeling like I can do things. I can achieve great things in my life.
Gives you a sense of achievement. Nice.
Yeah. Sense of achievement.
What do you think the future of construction would be like? Do you feel like we will have robots to fill all these masonry jobs? We won't have any more workers working with their hands in the construction sites. How do you?
No, I don't think so. It will take maybe more years. Maybe another 20, 30 years, maybe you can say. But until that time, it is not going to happen.
Besides your responsibilities and your duties, what kept you going? So maybe you achieved your goals. What kept you going more and more and wanting to grow more and more? Because on your LinkedIn profile, we see that you've been keeping, and you've been going up and up and up and up. So what kept you going?
It's a personal achievement. I wanted to achieve something in my life. I started with the small, and then I started thinking bigger and bigger and bigger. That keeping me moving on and on and on.
Okay. So it was your choice to be an engineer, or it was your parents' choice?
It was my choice, actually.
Okay. So they were proud of it and they did not force you to be an engineer. You wanted to be an
Initially, my dad was a little bit upset on that, but later he made up his mind. And
upset? What did he want you to be, a doctor?
He wanted me to be a doctor because he was a doctor.
Oh, okay. Wow. Is he now proud of you?
Yeah, he is, of course.
Yeah. Do you think the industry could improvise in terms of technology? And what do you think that could help engineers go effective on our projects without exhausting themselves? So what do you think technologies? What technologies can be changed when it comes to construction?
Paperworks. Paperworks is a serious, really too much in the construction industry. We work in the site the whole day and then come back and doing the paperwork is really a serious thing. You don't want to do it at the end of the day.
It hinders the overall workflow, maybe. It just stops it. It makes it slower. Everything makes it harder. What else besides that you think would help?
This will make the life smooth, more easier and make smoother. That's what I believe. I believe.
Mm-hmm. Okay, COVID-19 unfortunately forced us to stay inside, and still doing that. I am inside the house, but our projects, but engineers' projects mainly, require to be outside most of the time. How are you managing this, and how have you managed it so far?
I never stayed home all these days. We were working all these days. No, there is no stop. We didn't stop at all. At present, I'm working with the Halliburton projects. You heard about Halliburton. They're the large US-based company, oil company. They are constructing a chemical plant in Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
So I'm working as a project manager, a senior project manager in this project. And this project never stopped so far. Daily we were working from morning, maybe restricted hours, but we were working every day. And initially it was a little bit uneasy to move around in the site because we don't know from how it spreads or from where it spreads. So we had no idea. So initially it was really scary. But then later then I made up my mind. Anyway, whatever, if it happened to happen, it has to happen.
Yes.
So
you just go with it. You just adapt to what's happening. Are you using Zoom a lot, or is it mostly emails?
We use Zoom and then Skype meetings. More in Skype meetings.
Oh, can you tell me more about COVID? How it changed? How did it affect you? Maybe on a personal level, on a career level. Did you do any new establishment relationships during this period?
You detach the whole, you detach it person to person. I mean, detach the whole social groupism. Like you are in a social group, you are meeting people, you are meeting different, kind of friends. We are in touch with the family. Now that whole thing is detached. And feeling like lonely sometimes, but managing.
We're managing.
because we don't have any idea how it's going to spread or when it is going to stop or when it's going to go.
So we have to just live with it.
Everyone is just assuming things. Other than that, nobody knows what's going to happen really in the next 4 or 5 months.
Yep, definitely.
Disaster.
On an average, the construction projects consume more than 3.5 million trees worth of paper every year in the UAE. How do you think it could be avoided or minimized?
Yeah, we can by the thing is whatever technology improves or whatever people say without any paper, no paper, like e-government or technology or whatever it is. At the end of the day, still people are requiring the paper to sign, because the people got used to that, and they are
it's hard to change from that, maybe.
They're addicted to that. You can say they're addicted to that.
Yeah.
They want to see their sign in all the papers on everyday basis.
Yeah, a lot of people have that problem, because like when you send even online, sometimes people, they scan it and then they sign
it. They print it and then they sign it, and then this is what I mean to say. So even the technology improves, even then the e-government or paperless project, everything is coming in. Still people wanted to see the files with the paper and their signature on it. So
maybe this will be changing in the near future, because people are now digital natives. They're changing. Everything is becoming more digital. Change. What is the challenge for the industry for moving into the digital age? I guess you just answered it, that they still like the old. Do you think there's another challenge?
Change the people's mentality, you can say.
Mentality, but we need to change.
That's really difficult. That's really difficult. To change the person, it is really difficult. That needs a lot of efforts. Not everyone. I like changes always. I like my previous, like my father. He never wanted to change. He wanted to be as he is. He never wanted to change in his life. But my profile is different. I wanted to change every day. Even I like to take up new changes, new challenges on everyday basis. So I like to change.
This is what's different between our generation and the generation before us, because our generation technology is very fast with us. It took them till they were older that phones started coming to nature. So I guess they're not used to change happening so quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
For example, in our age, we had the phones, the cell phones, and now we have the social media, and everything was so fast. So we're used to fast changes. Before we wind everything up, any last thoughts about engineers in the region?
People have to adapt to. They have to adopt new challenges, new changes, and that's my advice to the new generation or the old. Even the old people should take the new changes in the technology. They cannot just fix with something, and they don't want to. They shouldn't live with that whatever they had before. The new changes always, but for the betterment, we have to always adapt to the new changes and new challenges.
That's amazing. So not to reject change, but to embrace it and adapt quickly to it. Thank you. That's a very nice advice. So I'm just gonna take a couple of questions from our viewers. I'm gonna check the questions 1 second. So what's the difference between India and working in India in construction and working in the GCC?
I can answer it very well, because I worked in India also in between, and it's really difficult to, after having a long experience in Dubai, it's really difficult to work in India. First of all, it's, as I said before, it's very difficult to change the mentality of the people in India. Very difficult. If you are after having so much experience here, you're going back and you want to implement something in India, it's not possible. The people higher authority above us, or the higher authority, they will not allow to work. They will not give you flexibility to work as you like. They are always on you to control you so badly. And
so you feel in the GCC that thrive to always innovate is bigger than any other maybe place in the world. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah. Okay, we're done. That was really interesting.
Thank you.
I think very beneficial for anyone who's listening to to embrace change, to develop on a personal level and a career level.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.
You were our first.
Thank you for calling me also. Thank you for taking this interview with me.
You will find it on our website. It will be, and we will be inviting people to watch it as a webinar.
Okay.
So we will link you to it ASAP once it's done.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for having the time to be with us.